Hey guys, it's been 33 years in the making and it's finally here. A sequel to a classic movie, Coming to America. Well, whoa, there's so much to talk about. I'm going to talk about things I like, things I don't like, and if it is actually worth your time to watch Coming to America, the sequel. Welcome to the show, GVETech. I'm GVEDer. Let's get to it. So, Coming to America, the sequel is finally out, and there's so much to say. Before I continue, there might be a bit of spoilers in here, but not really. I'll try my best to avoid putting spoilers in here. So, let's go. I'm going to talk about things I like I said before, and things I don't like. I think it's an overall good movie. It's real family fun. It's been 33 years, and there are a lot of challenges in making a sequel. Very few franchises go on to make wonderful sequels. I think the few notable ones that come to mind that have wonderful sequels are, top in my mind, Terminator 2. Terminator 2 was just awesome. Even the Indiana Jones franchise tries to do it. The Temple of Doom isn't really good, but the other sequel, The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade, is really awesome. So it's really hard for people, for Hollywood, to do a classic movie and then follow up with a sequel. So Coming to America tries its best to do it, but you know how hard it is to top that original. It's like capturing lightning in a bottle. So everything, the stars have to align for that to happen. But as we go on, I'm going to let you know my thoughts on this movie. So the good things about this movie, the first good thing I like about the movie is the nostalgia. It gives you that feeling of nostalgia. I watched the original movie back when I was a kid. It came out in 1988. I watched it when I was a child and it was awesome. It's a movie I can watch every day. For real, I can watch it every day. Eddie Murphy was really great in the 80s and early 90s. He was just awesome, and I really like his movies. He's one of my top comedians, top three comedians of all time, to be honest. I love his Beverly Hills Cop series. I love his Trading Places movie. I loved the original Coming to America. Even the 48 Hours franchise, I love it. So Eddie Murphy, you know he's coming with his A game. So the nostalgia feeling for me is one of the things I like. It takes me back to my childhood fun times of just going through a movie where it's just fun. There's so many comedy tropes in there and it's awesome. I remember me and my siblings, cousins and everybody playing out Eddie Murphy roles, especially when the My Tea Shop, and Sexual Chocolate, Randy Watson and all that. And even in the Pastor, I feel good because there's a God somewhere. So I've grown up with that. So the nostalgia feeling is really there. So if you're after nostalgia, Coming to America, the sequel gives it to you 100%. Another thing I like is the continuity. It just goes smoothly. I remember after watching the first original one as a child, you always imagine in your mind, okay, how would it be when Prince Hakeem gets married to Lisa? What's gonna happen? How's their family gonna be? And they do a good job here of showing us how Prince Hakeem is living with Lisa and he has his children and everyone's going fine. They bring back the tropes of him practicing like he used to do with Simi back in the days, and he has 3 wonderful daughters, strong girls, and I like the fact that they make them to be strong women. I'll come back to that because there's a bit of deficiency in how that plays, but then I like the way they carry over. You have jamesearljones there, Darth Vader. They're doing his still alive. He's the king, and you see that flow, and it just flows from the original to this one. So for me, it's good. I like the continuity. I like the nostalgia. Another thing I like is just the costume designs. Wow, the props, the costume designs, they are awesome. You don't see a lapse from the first movie to this movie in terms of the quality of the costumes. They really went there with it. Everyone was coming with their A game. The choreography, the dances, A game, top notch. I like the way they did it. It's just brilliant for me. So I wasn't, if it's some movies you're watching and you're watching the sequel, you're like, okay, the CG is not good. I don't like the lights and I don't like the quality of the production, but the quality is awesome. It's top notch. So that's another thing I like. They didn't reduce the quality in this sequel. Now let's get into some more technical issues. Number 3, I think I'm number 3 now. Another thing I like, the most thing I like about this is the cameos. Whoa, Before I go to cameos, let me go back to continuity and nostalgia. There was something I saw that brought tears to my eyes. There's this guy that used to work with Eddie Murphy back while he was in Lisa's dad's shop, the McDowell's shop, and the guy is now in Zamunda. And I was like, oh, this guy was not left behind. He came to Zamunda. Lisa's dad has a franchise in Zamunda. Everyone's going fine. So that's a good continuity, like I talked about, and carryover for me, which is really good. I am happy that they didn't let some people come into this movie like Kevin Hart. I was afraid Kevin Hart was going to be in this movie. It would have been too much for it. But as it is now, it is good. You have a lot of people in this movie. You have Michael Blackson. And you have my man, the boss, Rick Ross. Officer Ricky! He's in the movie. And I was telling someone like, wow, Rick Ross actually tried to come with an African accent, and it's a bit decent. He doesn't nail it, but he's decent. And I was like, okay, Rick Ross is bringing it. Michael Blackson, as usual, comes with his A game. Tracy Morgan, I was afraid of Tracy Morgan being in this movie, but he did a good job. I think the SNL dynamic was at play here. So you have Eddie, veteran SNL, lesliejones SNL, Tracy Morgan SNL, Colin Jost SNL. So they know how to work with each other, and Tracy Morgan didn't really spoil it for me. He knew when to pull back. I think Eddie did a good job of not being too how do I put it, not carrying the movie by himself. He gave people space to do their thing. The cameos are good. Leslie Jones did a great job. She brought a game to it, and she wasn't too loud. She was just right for the role. Colin Jost did a good. He just had a minor cameo, and it's good. And there was something really, really nice they did. If you're a fan of Eddie Murphy movies, like I was saying in the beginning, he did a movie back in '83, Trading Places. There were these two guys that were there, and they happened to be related to Colin Jost in this movie, and it's just a neat, pretty little throwback to that nostalgia factor I was talking about. And my man that brought his A game, Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is awesome. I think after he settled his taxes and came back from South Africa, he's been sinking his claws and his fangs into every role he gets in. Every role he's been in, he's been good. With Dolomite that he did with Eddie Murphy as well, he brought his A game. In this one, he brought his A game. There was a point I was like, okay, when is Wesley Snipes going to come up with his Van Damme stuff? And he actually whooped some ass in this. So I was like, okay, he was just awesome. He was funny. There was a part where he was teaching some kids, and he was like, okay, kids, it's time for break. Play, go and play with your grenades and your Kalashnikovs. And I was like, oh boy, he had me in stitches. So Wesley Snipes did a good job, brought his A game. Cameos are awesome. You have the cameos are just awesome. You have Salt and Pepper in this. You have our boy Davido from Nigeria doing his thing. Awesome. Excuse me. You have En Vogue, and there were only 3 of them. I was wondering why. I was telling someone there should be 4, but En Vogue brought their A game. You have the guys at the barber shop, which is Eddie Murphy and Arsenio taking most of the roles, and it was really, really funny. Those guys are always funny. So if you after a few good laughs, you would have a nice time. So the cameos are good, and you had I'm going to get into territory where I don't start liking now. You had my girl Teyanataylor. I love her, but she can't act. I'm sorry, she can't. And she's my girl. She has a track with Method Man, Raekwon the Chef, and Ghostface Killer. And I love the track. She's good, but in terms of acting, I wouldn't say that. Now, things I don't like in this movie. Number one, I think the last act was rushed. It felt a bit rushed. So there were so many things they were juggling, and they didn't have time to give us details, so to speak. So it was rushed. That's not good for me. So that's a downer. It was rushed. I felt they were just moving from place to place and trying to rush things out, especially when Eddie Murphy's son and the girl in the palace were having this relationship. Come on, man. You can't just meet this girl and then you guys are getting married. It doesn't work like that in the real world. You have to go through ups and downs. The normal, I was expecting them to get, okay, you know what, we're from different worlds. We like each other. We're attracted to each other. But then there has to be some kind of conflict in this relationship. And go walking through that conflict will make us come together stronger. So I didn't see that there, so that's a downer for me. Character development was lacking. So character development for Eddie Murphy's son, character development for his children was lacking. So especially his first daughter, I was expecting more character development. So in my opinion, there should have been more beef between her and the boy, because the boy was not in the picture. Someone comes into the picture and he's going to take your position as heir to the throne. So there should be some real serious beef. And when the boy was asked to go get the whiskers of a lion, I was like, okay, that was an opportunity for them to bond. There was some bonding that happened, but not in the way that I would like. In my opinion, it would have been okay. The girl comes up to him and says, okay, I can show you how to do it. And the guy says, no, I'll do it my way. I'm from the streets. This is how I do it. And he goes and does it his way and it works. And the girl says, okay, maybe there's something about this guy. You know, he's my brother. Let's just work it out. But that didn't happen. They went another route and it worked out. Another thing was the resolution between Wesley Snipes and Eddie Murphy. It was lacking. So you guys were beefing. All of a sudden, you guys are back together again. No. I know they wanted to make the movie end on a good, warm note, but then in doing that, they just rushed it. So that's it for me. The rushing, I didn't like the rushing. Character development, there were some jokes that fell flat. I felt that the jokes that were told when they were back in Queens, there were a lot of jokes that hit, and that was good for me. Yes, so that's my very, very brief review. I could be here for as long as it takes, because there's so many good things to talk about this movie. I keep remembering some things now as I'm talking. And it's a good movie. It's a movie that you should go see. Come on, man, you should see it. If you have Prime, watch it by all means. So I would give it, the first movie in the 80s, I give that movie a 9 over 10, to be honest. This one, I would give it a 7 over 10. A 7 over 10 because I liked most of the movie. The issues with me were the way they rushed the movie, and lack of some character development for some people, especially the son, Wesley Snipes' daughter, Eddie Murphy's daughter. So that was lacking for me, but other than that, it's a good movie and it's good. So there you have it. I'll give it a 7 over 10. Watch the movie, just have fun with it. Don't pick holes like me. Have fun. Thanks for watching. I would love to see what you think about the movie. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you say, hey Vader, you're wrong, let me know. Vader, you're right, let me know. Thanks for watching again. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, be good and take care.